If you've been sentenced to death but they let you choose your own method, what would it be? Imaginary Reaction 77 said. Opiates suppress the medulla oblongata, breathing center in your brain. If your body is naive, unused, to opiates, then it takes a smaller amount to achieve complete suppression. Don't breath for 10 min plus, your heart will stop, hypoxic cardiac arrest, and your brain will die, irreversible damage incompatible with life. As long as your opiate dose causes you to stop breathing and no one attempts resuscitation, then you go to sleep and die pretty easily with this method. Do LSD do DMT said. I don't personally have experience with nearly dying from opiates, but my understanding is that the mechanism of action prevents pain, works so well that your brain and body are just thinking, oh shit, you're so good right now, better than ever, I don't even really have to breath, this is so chill. No warning signals, just completely content with death, all the way to the cellular level. Stupid Liagly said. I long ago made the decision that when I get the diagnosis, I'm going quietly into that cold, dark night. No chemo in bankrupting the next 17 generations of my family in treatment that makes me sick and doesn't work. Gonna get a couch, a few tons of weed, and the entire series of Ren and Stimpy until the day comes that a sympathetic doctor will give me too much palliative opiate-induced care. I'm 49 if you're curious. I've had time and experience of friends dying to come to this decision. A mediocre millennial said. I'm 24 and almost, should have, died. But also have seen some shit as a volunteer firefighter as a high schooler. Some places offer Junior Explorer programs for 15-18-year-olds. Technically gruesome car wrecks were not something they can respond to, but my dad was a captain and needed a passenger to take the engine out of the bay, and never would have filed a lawsuit for being exposed to extreme trauma at a young age. Town has 3 stations, one that is manned by paid firefighters 24/7, and 2 others that were just in different parts of the town for convenience and quicker response depending on the location of the scene. Saw lots of things. And lost a lot great-grandparents to cancer. I just think that is the best time to experiment with the harder, more serious drugs. Old enough to not have an issue with getting addicted, and old enough to not care if you go into some kind of arrest. Ideally wouldn't like to overdose so I can try them all, but if I'm forced to choose my way of death in a death sentence, I'd rather have a great time losing my mind. Would also like to try my best to get the purest form of the drugs I can. Would also just like to preface that I in no way am condoning the use of extremely addictive and deadly drugs. Addiction is a very serious issue and I have seen people who have died of OD on scenes or discarded like nothing in a parking lot so their friend wouldn't get caught there. But after a terminal diagnosis, I think it would be an acceptable option for people to try before they die. Clash Mains 2 account said. When falling into it you won't see straight when you pass the event horizon. I've watched stuff about it some time ago. The light would get more and more warped and forms into a circle point in front of you. Because of the distortion of space-time you may fall into it for virtually infinity because time there is funky AF. For an potential outside observer you'd fall but then just stop in place. If you get far enough you'd just be incinerated because very strong gravity on one end of the body would be drastically different from the other end. Nubia Poster 1982 said. Yes. Didn't think of that. Just pleasantly drift off in your sleep once you have lived long enough and done what you wanted to do. That's why I believe in euthanasia. If you're sound of mind and want to choose, especially in cases where you are diagnosed with some horrible disease, you shouldn't have to lose yourself to it. Or hurt your family, especially true in dementia cases I have seen over the years. So upsetting as husband, wife, mom, dad was quiet and lovely and then all of a sudden are aggressive and mean. You should be able to choose. I want to go to Switzerland if I ever become ill, but at a point when I'm still me. I don't want to lose myself, be cared for completely, burden, hurt my family. It's our bodies we should be able to choose. That religious bullshit about eternal damnation if you commit suicide is utter bollocks. If you have been a good person all your life and are choosing the way for the right reasons, I'm pretty sure any higher powers would understand. Free will to choose, and if you do everything right all your life. I hate that people are fed that crap. Especially by religious places after a family friend has committed suicide. So cruel. I'm a spiritual person. And if God was about, I don't believe he wrote the Bibles and other things. Those things were written by selfish men for control and power. It should be allowed so no one is putting themselves at risk of greater injury trying to carry out euthanasia themselves. Sorry, a bit of topic. Péron said. In France, a jester called Tribalent once did exactly this, during the 16th century. The king, François I, forbade him from insulting the queen, which he eventually did anyways. The king had to sentence him to death, but let him choose how. When he said he chose to die from old age, the king just banished him from the realm, which is arguably very much preferable to solitary confinement. Big Zuji said. A tangentially connected post from back in the dawn of time on the interwebs. How I'd commit suicide. I've been working on a couple of scenarios. My original plan was to go out in a flurry of a violent punching spree at the Galleria during Christmas. Just walking down the third level punching everyone, women, kids, elderly. Just prior to being pounced on by security, I turned the last punch on myself, flinging myself over the railing and down to a frozen death on the ice. The way, when people started talking about senseless violence and shooting rampages, the people I actually hit would always have a really cool story and be the center of attention. Yup. He got me on the chin. I was one of the first he hit, too. It was kind of sore for a couple of days. Second option. A buddy of mine, the occasional poster named Mr. Bubble, an erstwhile mid-80s DG resident, and I worked up this scenario at a Tanqueria Arandas one afternoon. It has the most lasting impact, IMHO. Big Zuji said. Start out by sending threatening letters the politician of your choice. It should be a big enough politician so that there's ample security trying to stop you and television coverage to immortalize you. I mean, a county commissioner just isn't going to get you the press. Key here is to tell the mark that I am coming after you. And I'm going to be wearing a clown suit. Learn to fly. When the target is giving some outdoor speech or something, fly a plane, while wearing the aforementioned clown suit, over the event. Approximately 10,000 feet directly over the podium, you exit the plane. No parachute, maybe a little drogue chute to keep you pointed downwards and slow you enough so everyone realizes what's happening. Possibly, a whistle tied to you would add to the effect, screaming down like a Stuka. At an appropriate distance, you open up with a pair of .45s, I'm kind of torn here, not wanting to really hurt anyone, I'd lean towards blanks. But that might hurt you from a notoriety standpoint. So you nose in at 100 miles per hour. A lot of preparation is required to really do this one up right. In addition to the really gloriously stupid way you just offed yourself, a well-prepared home is a must since the Secret Service are going to go over your belongings with a fine-tooth comb. Cut out 3 years worth of Merryworth cartoons and post them on your walls, W notations and comments. Start working on an obsession with the B-grade star, David Soul, TV's Hutch, comes to mind. Underline random sections of dog-eared paperbacks or scratch out all of the occurrences of the. Fill a 200 CD changer with nothing but the Boston Pops. Maybe 200 copies of the same CD, an artist whose career could use a boost. Lita Ford maybe, think creatively. Big Zuji said. Finally, if you are going to go this route, be sure to talk about it with all your friends, co-workers and passers-by at length. They'll think you're joking. Afterwards, when the police, papers or TV guys grill them, they have to answer, hell yes, all the time. Clown suit. Merryworth. Jumping from the plane. Everything. We always thought he was joking. Bill Curtis is going to have to fill a whole hour on you, so make it good. Danson 372 said. If they hit you in the heart, I believe you get a sudden spike in blood pressure which damages the brain and then an immediate loss of blood pressure. So it's not instant but it is quick. You won't know what's happening. If someone can correct me, please do. I don't remember where I heard it from. Also, I read somewhere that gunshot wounds to the head take 1.8 seconds to kill. But again, you'd probably not know what was happening. Sparkheart 52 said. And how lucky would you be to actually get a direct shot to the heart? That'd be one good shot. You're more likely to be hit in the lungs and asphyxiate on your own blood, which is a slow and agonizing death. Firing squads only have 1 or 2 of the shooters with live rounds. The rest fire blanks. That's how they keep anonymity of the person who actually killed the person being executed for the mental health of the shooters in the firing squad. The NH said. Those suppositions aren't facts. There was no allowance for type of bullet or gun, for example, which I'm sure has a massive effect of the survivability of any given gunshot wound. Some gun suicides seem to obliterate the brain, and I don't see how when the neural pathways are gone the pain can be felt. I'm sure there's a huge difference between a 0.22 and a 0.357 hollow point to the heart, when it comes to blood pressure. I'm sure it's just one of those things that is case by case dependent on a lot of factors, not something with a set number. Made Somewhere Else said, I was bored years ago and came up with this one. Put me on a houseboat headed for a big waterfall. I set the houseboat on fire. I'll be hanging myself as well, so I get up on the chair and put my head through the noose. Before jumping through the noose, I take a bunch of sleeping pills and slit my wrist. I jump through said noose. Perhaps the noose is made of razor wire, so it takes my head off, and maybe I could set up some pulley system that pulls the trigger of a gun that shoots me as well. Shrek the Ogre 420 said, no. Lethal injection in the States works by using a sedative to make you unconscious, then a muscle relaxant to stop you from breathing, and then potassium chloride to stop your heart. If the sedative doesn't work, dying by lethal injection is extremely painful because having potassium chloride run through your bloodstream is like having your veins coursing with liquid fire, as the potassium and chloride ions interact with your nervous system. Two unicycles said, okay, so you need a tall building, a sledgehammer, a long stretch of rope, a slightly shorter length of razor wire, and a whole lot of super glue. Pick a high floor in the building with a floor-to-ceiling window. Knock out the glass with the sledge. Secure one end of the razor wire to a pipe or something across from the window, and the other end goes around your neck. Secure one end of the rope to the same pipe and the other end goes around your ankles. Make sure there's a couple of yards more rope than wire. Cover your hands in super glue and hold them to the side of your head, ideally fingers down. Once the glue has set, hop on over to the window and take the plunge. Enjoy your last few seconds and free fall. When you reach the end of the wire, it rips through your neck, severing your head from your body, killing you instantly. A moment later the rope kicks in and you're left hanging from your ankles. And the folks inside whatever window you ended up outside get to see you hanging there upside down, holding your own head in your outstretched arms, staring back at them. Prototype Al said, I would love to mix ketamine and morphine. I have no idea if this mixture could even kill you, since ketamine is a respiratory stimulant whereas morphine is a respiratory depressant. Ketamine also stimulates your heart, and opiates slow down your heart. IARC ketamine OD kills you from a heart attack. IARC and opiate overdoses are from respiratory depression, but dying from an overdose of both of these substances would be very pleasant. Ketamine entirely detaches you from the real world, and opiates just make you euphoric as fuck. Combining the two would entirely make you forget that you are literally about to die. Stitch Meta 2 said, I remember there was a documentary I saw once that I think was called Killing Humans or something similar to that, which went through all the popular execution methods to try and find the most humane one. They went through hanging, guillotine, electric chair, gas chamber, firing squad, lethal injections, and finally nitrous oxide. They found that the most barbaric is gas chamber because it requires a person to be calm and breathe deeply, which nobody does, and so they freak out, breathe quick, and the execution takes longer and is more torturous as you slowly suffocate to death. They literally have to tie people down in the chamber so they don't claw at the walls or bash their heads against the walls trying to escape. The most humane method they found was nitrous oxide. It's odorless, and you don't even know it's there. It's the same gas they use at the dentist that makes you loopy. You breathe it in, you start to feel funny, happy, euphoric. Keep breathing it in and eventually you will just fall asleep and die. In the documentary they did it with a pig. Pig was munching on snacks, no idea what is going on, they just laid down and fell asleep. They stopped the gas before it killed the pig, but still. Pigs had no idea what was happening and didn't have a second of suffering of panic, and this gas is super cheap too. Ramen Titties said, play mind games, convince the authorities that if I can eat a fugu fish dinner, and survive the prison must let me go. Survive? I borrow a nice car from someone, get into a police chase, crash and die happy. Death? Enjoy death by asphyxiation. Being able to know I died eating seafood, overcoming my fears. Last words. Priest, close your legs, it smells fishy in here. Attempting to laugh at my own joke, I'll crack up even more, choking on nothing at my bad joke. Red Piano 82991 said, first, I want each of my fingernails and toenails to be ripped out of their respective extremities and forced down my throat. Then I would like my penis to be cut down the middle starting at the head with a dull, rusty saw. Each of my testicles will be placed into a vice and squeezed until they pop. Then I would like a red-hot dagger blade forced into my anus. Next, my eyeballs should be sucked out of my skull and the optic nerves draper over my ears. My tongue should be repeatedly hole-punched. Finally, my face should be cut off in squares and my head microwaved until it explodes. Not suicidal or anything. I've just been reading about all the gentle deaths everybody wants and thought I'd go with the opposite, just to be different. True Butterscotch 7992 said, "Death by incredibly happy and fantastic life and lifestyle with death exactly when I want it and safeguards in place to prevent scenarios where it's not exactly as my mind describes it and also invasive thoughts don't affect it and only the average sentiment of having a great life matters, with my choice of immediate death being painlessly becoming just whenever I sign and explain that I wish to die with a specific phrase that only I know or exclaim a specific phrase that only I know, or am forcibly kept asleep or in a coma for over 5 years." The Kick Artist said, "If I'm allowed to get ridiculous, I'd like to be rendered unconscious and strapped to the side of an atomic bomb, which then goes off. I won't feel a damn thing and death will be damn near instantaneous. If I'm not allowed to be ridiculous, I choose the guillotine. It's got a better success rate than lethal injection and firing squid and I can at least say I went out like a lot of French nobility." Unicorn Space Station said, "Somewhat related joke my dad told me once. For reference, I am Czech and we like to think of ourselves as smart vindictive trolls. American, Japanese, and Czech person find themselves on a desolate island captured by cannibals. The cannibal chieftain says to them, 'Sorry boys, but this is the end of the road for you. We will kill you, skin you, make roast and stew from your meat and use your skin to build canoes. What I can do for you is to let you choose the way you will die. American, I want to shoot myself in the head. It's the quickest. His wish is granted and he is given an old revolver, loads it, and shoots himself. Japanese, I want a comet seppuku. It's an honorable way to die for my people. He is allowed to use his katana and commit the deed. Czech, hand me a fork would you? The chieftain looks a bit confused but complies. Czech starts furiously stabbing himself all over with the fork, blood splashing everywhere. Even the natives are horrified, so the chieftain asks, "What the hell are you doing? Is this some sort of a brutal tradition in your country?" And the Czech with his last breath replies, "No, but good luck making canoe about this." DD 800-1363 said, "Considering I have the option, I want someone to calculate and build a gun contraption with 8 guns that will fire in a way that all 8 bullets will crash into each other at the same time. Except I want that to happen inside my head. There is no way I survive that, and I don't think it will be possible to feel pain given I have 8 super hot projectiles piercing and destroying my brain in less than a second. This experiment would be impossible due to ethics, but this has my consent, and the very idea of capital punishment is a big fuck you to ethics itself." Feats Off Strength said, "Probably being vaporized by high explosives. Being at ground zero of a huge explosion would be completely painless as you would be gone way before the pain signals had a chance to reach your brain. The scariest form of capital punishment that is used by some countries for me is the electric chair. I think I would take any other method over that. Every account of electric chair executions I have come across make it sound an utterly horrific and painful way to die." H1Q2T said, "Since what I want isn't possible on real life, I would ask them to put me on a VR that works like so where you can die if you die in the game. Then I would tell them to put me on a zombie apocalypse scenario where I would be a kid and I could grow inside the game so I could have experience with guns, survival etc. because I have none. Then when I'm a grown up I would arm myself with lots and lots of weapons, explosives, rockets etc. and fight the biggest zombie horde you can imagine, where I would die on top of a pile of zombies dead by wounds with all the zombie dead on an epic death." Reasonable Bass 521 said, "Jumping off a building. Here's way. Picture this: you're being chased and at the end you are at the edge of a building and they say something like, 'Now you have nowhere to run,' so you respond with, 'That's where you're wrong,' with a little smirk. Then you T-pose and purposely fall backwards off of said building. It's as if you're a villain from a movie. I don't know about you, but if I have to die anytime soon, I want to die 1, with style, and 2, as if I'm a movie villain. So that is why you